around the world to be the most powerful drug trafficker in the world. He headed the Sinaloa drug cartel, Mexico's largest cartel, the biggest supplier of drugs to the United States, methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine, and marijuana. It was a violent cartel, a strong cartel that took over smuggling routes into the United States over the last few years in a very bloody way. And Guzman is reputed to be at the very top of all that. So his capture is seen as a very big deal in Mexico and in the United States. It's tantamount to the killing of Pablo Escobar in Colombia, even the killing of Osama bin Laden in the War on Terror. To the Mexicans, this guy was #1, and he was most wanted by the DEA, too, with a $5 million reward. So this is a huge arrest. We're told by U.S. and Mexican authorities that it occurred early this morning. In fact, a Mexican senior official just said it happened at 6:40 a.m. In Mazatlan. They have officially confirmed that they do have in their hands Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. This was...
let me interrupt you for just a second, because we are actually watching him being walked by authorities at this moment. This is just moments ago. We're actually watching that live moments ago right now. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to point out to our viewers what we were watching. So please, Mark, continue.
Oh, no problem. And I can't see that here, so I'm eager to see that picture myself. He hasn't been seen for a really long time, since he escaped from prison in 2001.
Yeah, it looks very different from the picture we're showing. Very different.
Leaving prison in a laundry truck, leading to the great stories about him, the songs that were written about him, and the legend about him. This was the result of a concerted effort by the DEA over time to catch him. The Mexican authorities said that they had been watching him for a while and just chose the right time to pick him up. They said in the arrest at Mazatlan, no shots were fired, no resistance offered. It went very cleanly. But this was clearly a DEA operation in collaboration with the Mexican Marines, who they have worked with in the past quite well in the capture and killing of other kingpins. So again, this is a really big deal. Guzman had a huge impact on the United States, according to authorities, supplying so much of the drug load coming into this country. His organization was infamous for the tunnels that they would dig along the border, and for the violent tactics that they would use to take over the plazas or the drug routes along the border. So again, this is a part of a concerted attack against that organization that many feel will help certainly weaken that organization and lead to a disruption, at least for a while, of drug supplies, particularly meth and heroin, coming into the U.S.
Mark, to your point that you just made, I wanted to ask you, in a situation like this, in an organization like this, which is obviously very violent, we've been hearing about that in gruesome detail for years. In a situation like this, is there an heir apparent to succeed a person like this, or do you expect a bloody battle from what you've been talking to? From the authorities that you've been talking to, I should say.
Yeah, the answer to that is both. There is a subhead of the organization who has not yet been captured, who will, continue to try to limp along. And they've lost a lot of members in this organization. But what some agents are saying is that what we're going to see now is other organizations vying for the power once enjoyed only by the Sinaloa cartel. Chapo Guzman ran that cartel. It was his cartel, and the loss of him at the top will be felt. Other cartels will try to take over some of those routes, and as we've seen in the past, when that happens, there's a lot of bloodshed. We saw that in Juarez, we saw that in Tijuana. You name the city along the border, we've seen it when they were in contention. And then eventually the Sinaloa cartel would come in and win the war, and then everything would quiet down. Now that piece may be upended by the capture of Guzman. So there's a plus and minus here as a result of this historic arrest. It really is a historic arrest in Mexico.
Okay, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, moments ago being walked by authorities after being arrested, looking very, very different from pictures that we've been seeing of him in the past. NBC's Mark Potter in Miami. Thank you very much. Talk about a speed trap. A Long Island woman was pulling